Hello and welcome to the November Full Moon Vidcast. I'm Charlie Band and trying to get to you every month to tell you what's going on at full moon. I know we missed September, feel bad about that, but here we are in November. And once again, it's even though it's just a few weeks later since we did the October Vidcast, there's a lot going on. First of all, we've been publishing now for over 2 years this amazing magazine called Delirium. And we pretty much have the whole Fangoria crew, and they're no longer being published. Chris Alexander is the editor. He's doing an amazing job. And I know a lot of you, it's probably hard to buy the printed edition, which smells so good. So we decided, well, to make it easier for everyone all over the planet, we are now offering digital Delirium. So all 15 issues are available on Kindle and iBooks digitally, and it's only $3.99. And I hope you guys all become part of this. It keeps a beautiful publication alive. This is just not a full moon thing. I mean, we're covering everything, horror and everything cult and everything that's really cool out there. I mean, we have some of our own stuff in here, but this magazine is sort of like, I like to look at it like sort of the new Fangoria, because again, we have pretty much all the contributors and Chris Alexander doing the editing. So it's a beautiful magazine, 54 color pages. Of course, you can always subscribe to the magazine, but if you want to get it digitally and look at it on your awesome iPad or wherever you see stuff, all you have to do is go to iBooks or Kindle. So that's one thing that I'm excited about. It took a while to get all 15 issues all up there in those two systems digitally. Otherwise, the big stuff coming up is we have finally at the end of this month, which is around the corner, we're able to release Puppet Master Axis Termination in its feature-length form. We did some early episodic releases, and then we had El Rey Network do a premiere on Halloween, and now we will be releasing the movie not only on the Amazon channels in the US, UK, and Germany, but also on Blu-ray and DVD. So in a few short weeks, they can be pre-ordered now, but at the end of the month, these will be available. Really proud of this Puppet Master. We put a lot into it. Not easy making a World War II period piece with puppets and blood and death for a very small budget, but I think we did a good job. So that's happening. Another thing kind of close to me is I shot what I thought was going to be a series. I shot 3 episodes of a show called Ravenwolf Towers, which I was also really happy with, and those were released as episodics like in the last year or so. But the feature itself is now coming out in the next week, actually probably by the time you're seeing this vidcast, Ravenwolf Towers, the feature with some beautiful new artwork, will be out. And if you haven't seen it, or maybe you saw one of the episodes, check it out as a feature-length 80-90 minute show. I think you'll be really happy. Next year is going to be wild. We're just now plotting out what we want to do and what makes sense to do. We can't stop ourselves with action figures and resin statues, and this Killjoy dude is just now I think becoming available probably by the time you see this vidcast, and he's got his awesome Batty Boop. It's also available. And then, we have things like Head of the Family and, of course, Ghoulies, which sits on my desk all the time. He's kind of cool because he's posable. He can be stuck almost anywhere, although he kind of belongs in the toilet. So we got Ghoulies, and we have a number of our movies we're trying to put out on Blu-ray, some of the older films. So we're just about ready to release Robot Wars in Blu-ray. And that took a while, but these all come from the original 35mm negative. And I'm especially proud of Robot Wars. It was one of those few movies during the early full moon years that my father actually directed. We were so busy, and we're making 15, 20 movies a year, and he has a great touch, and I learned a lot from him. So he actually directed Robot Wars. And the other movie that we actually co-directed, in case you're interested in any of this, was Dr. Mordred, because my theory was, well, we're both very similar, and again, so busy during that period as full moon was blowing up, I thought, well, I think it was a 10 or 12 day shoot. I said, Dad, you direct some days and I'll direct the others. So we co-directed Dr. Mordred. The Robot Wars was something he did, and much in the fashion of Robot Jocks, which I made during the Empire years, and then Crash and Burn, which also featured some great scenes with large stop motion animation robots. And on the Robot Wars Blu-ray, as a special feature, you'll find an interview I did in this same area here, all about David Allen, working with the amazing stop-motion animator David Allen, who started working with me on Laser Blast in the late 70s, and he's done, of course, did some of the early Puppet Master films, and Robot Wars, and Robot Jocks, and Dolls, one of my favorite movies that I've made, Dolls, and then, of course, the big project, which we hope to release one day, The Primevals, which it was our most expensive film. We shot for 12 weeks. We went to the Italian Alps. We built amazing sets at our studio at the time in Romania. And it required 250 stop-motion animation shots, which was very ambitious. And about 150 of those shots were done. And then David Allen, which is just such a tragedy, passed away. So those last shots weren't done, but his amazing partner, Chris Endicott, and I are cooking up a way to present the feature, which still, even in its current cut, works pretty well, and then maybe a second version which will have the storyboards in the areas where we weren't able to finish essentially the last big scene. So that's brewing for next year, and I hope by the end of next year we'll be able to release that so you guys can see, I think, a terrific movie totally in the style of Ray Harryhausen. So I think that's enough for the moment. Lots of movies, lots of crazy stuff. 2018 is upon us. Thanks for watching these video zones. And once again, we're right now on Amazon in the US, and the UK, and Germany, and those are all doing very well. I think there'll be some more territories soon. So it was exciting to know, and hopefully, I wish I could speak a fluent German. When we get to Italy, I speak a good Italian, but it's exciting to know that people in those 3 territories are watching these video zones, or these vidcasts, I should say, not video zone, and kind of keeping in the loop of what we're doing here at Full Moon. So thanks very much, and ciao.